And so she says, so yeah, I guess I harbor resentment towards kids from high school, but then I did a movie called Eurotrip and you totally jacked off to it. So I'm good. Tell him.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Best Friend Files podcast. Today we are going over a current event that is something that I think a lot of millennials and 90's kids are really having a hard time with right now, and that is the passing of Michelle Trachtenberg.
It's Trachtenberg.
Oh, jeez. I said it wrong.
I've got you, Michelle.
So I'm Bridget, and this is Jen.
Hi, that's me. That's Bridget. Michelle Trachtenberg was not mentioned in the memorandum section of the Grammys, which many people were outraged about. However, interestingly, Shannon Doherty, which I totally forgot died.
Oh,
She's
yeah,
from
me too.
90210. Yeah, she literally died. She's dead. Sorry, Shannon. And somebody named Tony Todd. Do you know him?
No idea who Tony Todd is, but R.I.P. friend.
R.I.P. So they were not mentioned either in the Oscars memorandum segment. However, because we heavily favor Michelle Trachtenberg, we are going to discuss the life and times of the beloved Harriett the Spy and her tomato sandwiches. So, a little about Michelle. She was born October 11th, 1985. She's a Libra, which I know nothing about, but she's a Libra.
Okay.
She's, depending on where you look, 5'7.5" or 5'8". We've all been there. I'm sure her driver's license is 5'8", and the doctor's office is 5'7.5". Weight 130, which
That's
holy
pretty light. It's pretty
tiny,
light for
right?
5'8". For 5'8", yeah.
That is.
I think like the standard is like 100 pounds at like 5 foot for women is like kind of the average standard, and then I think it's like 5 pounds for like every inch over. So like she should be like
that tracks.
She should be like 140, 150. I don't know, but that's like a minimal.
Okay.
That's minimal.
Size 8, shoe size 8. So I could have borrowed her shoes.
There you go. Too small
Eye
for me.
color. Yeah, sorry. Eye color, Bridget. Gorgeous blue. Hair color, blonde. Did not see that coming.
I guess dirty blonde, I guess. Like I'm thinking of when she was younger.
I just feel like are they saying it's blonde? And it's like in Harriett the Spy, they dyed it dirty blonde? Or are they saying, like, to me, blonde is like you're yellow. It's yellow hair.
No, like dirty blonde is like pretty dark, like a sandy blonde.
I'm going to look up her natural hair real quick.
Like, what about just like a natural blonde?
Natural hair. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's like dirty blonde. Actually, that's pretty blonde. I'll put this picture up. But yeah, she's pretty blonde. Jewish. What do they say? Mazel tov?
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov. L'chaim. Is of German and Russian Jewish descent. Grandparents lived in Israel. She spoke English and Russian. Favorite food? Club sandwiches.
Interesting. Which
Hash.
I mean, like, what makes it a club? Is it just like cheese and lettuce and tomato and like longer? Like, what makes a club sandwich?
Bacon? Like,
Is
is a club sandwich a BLT?
I thought that like it's because like you can have like a ham club sandwich. Like, I thought you could have like different types. Like, I thought it was like a subcategory of a sandwich.
It is a 3-layer sandwich consisting of 3 layers of bread. Oh.
See, there's like a turkey club, killer club, ham club.
Traditionally toasted, sliced cooked poultry, fried bacon. So a club sandwich has bread in the middle.
You gotta have that Big Mac piece of bread in the center.
Word. I bet you she liked Big Macs then.
Oh, well, apparently it's just a club sandwich, so who knows?
That's a club sandwich.
We've been getting hustled. It's just a hamburger club sandwich.
I can't. You learn something new every day on this podcast.
Every day. This is why you guys should like, subscribe, share it.
Please email us.
Just saying. Email us your questions.
bestfriendfiles@gmail.com, because no one has emailed us except for Google telling us we need to update our payment method.
Damn it.
Anyway.
I'm pretty sure we got solicited to for our auto and car insurance as well, but
great. That's great. Went to Notre Dame High School in Sherman Oaks, California, and she has one sibling, a big sister named Irene Trachtenberg, who looks not just like her, but clearly is her sister. Born in Brooklyn, represent. So Michelle started acting by being in commercials at age 3, so childhood star to the max. She did Whisk detergent commercial in 1988, which, do they even make that anymore? Whisk?
I am unfamiliar with that.
And then she did a Kohl's commercial with Hilary Duff, which I feel like is in a corner of my mind somewhere.
I can see that.
Fun facts. She was actually the first choice for Bella Swan for Twilight.
Oh, she would have been so much better.
I know.
She would have been so much better. Then it constipated Kristen Stewart. Just the entire movie, she looks like she either smelt bad cheese or she needs to take a poop and has not been able to. It's just, you're like, can someone give this girl some fiber, okay?
Well, with all that cheese. Ain't no bowel movements. So yeah, she was
a true mother. Only moms are aware that cheese binds.
And that to unconstipate, real quick side note, any fruit that starts with a P will get it moving.
Okay.
Peaches, pears, pineapple, prunes, obviously, but they're all in the family. So yeah, she was the first choice, had a scheduling conflict. How bad does she wish she didn't have that scheduling conflict?
What scheduling conflict did you have for Twilight?
I just feel like she was like, this isn't going anywhere.
Yeah, no, she just, because, what else, what did she do? I can't name what she could have done at that time. And that was the biggest adult, young adult novels on the market at that point.
She really...
Because I actually read them. I read all of the books before it came out.
Did you
I was like, oh yeah. Oh, the books are, oh my god.
I heard they're more violent. Are they so violent?
It's just, well, yeah, so just like anything, they're painting the picture with words as opposed to with, the visuals. I would also say the same for the Hunger Games. I would highly recommend that anybody that has not read the Hunger Games or Twilight to actually go read the books. The Hunger Games aren't that bad. Twilight, though, those books are 400, 500 pages. They're thick books. I think
I read Hunger Games.
Yeah, Hunger Games I would say Hunger Games is a standard book.
Yeah.
But no, Twilight, let me see, Twilight page count.
Dang.
Yeah,
but yeah, all I can think now is I wish we could reshoot it with her, because you couldn't cast a better, she's naturally ghostly white. The blue eyes, the black hair, her little perfect nose. She just looked like her name should be Bella Swan. I mean,
right.
My God.
Yeah, so Twilight is, the first book is 544 pages. New Moon, which is the second one, is 464. Eclipse is 629. And Breaking Dawn, the last one, which they actually split Breaking Dawn up into 2 movies, is 756 pages. When I tell you I read these in a month, oh yeah.
They're that good.
Oh yeah. The only one that's
a good story.
The second one, New Moon, which was also the slowest, I believe, of the movies, that's the only one that you're that's when she's all depressed because Edward leaves her.
Oh yeah.
That was that. That book is just, it just like the movie. It's okay, you're sad.
Yeah.
you know.
But that really, I don't know that I can ever watch Twilight again because I'm just going to be like, where's Michelle?
You know what we need is I need people with their AI to go in just like they did with like the Home Alone and Sylvester Stallone, and they need to. Have you seen that? They need to AI her face throughout all of Twilight.
Deep fake her entire body.
This is the Twilight we deserve. This is the Twilight Michelle deserves.
They can even like now what they do, like I've seen in docuseries, like they have like an audio clip of a person and they use AI to make them narrate stuff and like just assume what it would sound like. We could do it. It could be done. Not us. We can't. I don't have the skill.
No, I'm gonna
somebody.
Have to, no.
So that breaks my heart and soul. I literally can't get over it. And she originally met Sarah Michelle Gellar on All My Children, which was before Buffy. And Sarah is the one who was like, you need to cast this girl as Dawn when she needed her sister.
I never watched Buffy.
Bye! We're done. No, it was really good.
It was what, you know me, in keeping true to my character, it was a very popular series that most people watched that I just did not watch.
Did you watch Charmed?
Of course I did. Yes,
okay.
I did watch Charmed.
Okay.
But I was gonna say it was because I did see the movies. I mean, I like the Buffy movies, so I think I was just like, oh, there's a show about it. Like, I don't know.
Oh, there's movies? Okay, I didn't watch the whole thing, like all of Buffy beginning to end, but it has a Charmed vibe to it.
Okay.
It's a little more. It's slightly darker because instead of it being like wizards to demons, it's like mostly demons and zombies and like, you know, vampires and stuff. But yeah, she was great in that show. Like it was like the first time you see her as like a young woman where she's like being sexy and like, you know, doing like aerobic fighting scenes, like high kicks and stuff where you're like, okay, Dawn Summers. But she played Sarah Michelle Gellar's sister. And she was a big fan of Buffy, so I feel like they were hanging out and she was like, oh my god, your show is so cute, and she was like, you should be on it, and then was just like on it. And then she also during that became really good friends with Seth Green, who like, I mean, during that time I feel like that was at the same time that he was in Austin Powers.
Okay.
Remember Seth Green, like the redhead?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Funny, and like I remember seeing like outtakes of Buffy because I don't know if they did it at the end of every show, but like there were times where like I saw like the outtakes and it was always Michelle and Seth were like dying laughing at something, and I like low-key had a crush on Seth Green because just his personality. I was like, yeah. I love this guy. And I
loved him in the movie. I started to crush on him. The one with Jennifer Love Hewitt. And
she's all that. That's the other chick.
No, but it's like that. It's in that era of movies.
Oh my god!
And she's like a popular girl, and he's like
he's like a nerd, and he's at a house party, and he's like in love with her.
Yes, and he's the one who he like has a crush on, like that girl that's like his friend.
What is that movie?
Oh my god!
I gotta find it.
Oh my gosh! I keep thinking she's all that, but I know that's not it.
No, because that's what was her name? Lana something?
No, that's that other chick, yeah. No.
I think it was Lana something. Everyone at home is like, screaming the name at us. Can't hardly wait.
Yes.
Paul Rudd's in it. Oh, Paul Rudd.
He was in so many iconic movies of my childhood, and I just never realized it. Like, he was just in the background there, just playing the supporting characters.
Hang on. Is it Paul Rudd? Or does that just look like Paul Rudd?
Oh, no, that's not Paul Rudd. That is...
Nope. False alarm!
It looked like Paul Rudd.
Ethan Embry?
That's the guy that's the douchebag boyfriend.
Oh, yeah, and she should be with Seth.
That guy. No, with the other guy. The little... What is his name? What's the cast here?
It's...
Oh, yeah, Ethan Embry. Yeah, Preston Myers. That's the lead guy. Yeah, he looks different now.
I mean, his nose is giving too old to play this role in the cover.
he is definitely giving. He looks more than he's 7 years older than us. I'll tell you that. Like, what? Now?
I mean, he looks 42 in this poster. And this is 98. Can't hardly wait. When was, hang on. Buffy was like 1998 also. So when was Austin Powers? That's what we need to know. 97. Yeah, so it was like, he did The Spy Who Shagged Me or whatever. I think he was in the second one, Goldmember, which was 2002. So, and Buffy ran for like, I don't know, 8 years or something crazy. So yeah, he was in that movie, and then I saw him in Buffy, and I was like, I love him. I love you. I love you.
So does Michelle play is her character in Buffy like a central one? Is she supporting?
Yeah. Yeah. So she wasn't in the very beginning, but then there's like a point where Sarah's younger sister, like, I don't know if it's like a stepsister or how they work it in, but like her sister comes to stay with her. And then like gets swept into everything. She's kind of comic relief. And like she actually says that, like, in an interview, Michelle says that she didn't like the way they kept playing her younger and younger. So she's like, every time I did a new season, it was like the writing became younger and younger for me. Like they kept trying to age her down to where she was even speaking incorrectly in the script, and she just like wasn't about it. But
interesting.
Yeah. Then she took ballet as a child, which is what helped her in her role of Ice Princess, which was her 2005 film, which was like her first film as a young adult starring. Did you ever see it?
Maybe.
I didn't.
2005. Okay, yes. Now that I'm looking at the cover, yes, I did see this. I did.
Did you like it?
I remember this. Yeah, I remember liking it, but I was also like a figure skater, so.
Oh my God, you were a figure skater?
Might be a little biased there. Yeah, I figure skated for like 5 years.
What? When?
Like early, I'd say like middle school and like early high school. And then I probably like stopped. I definitely had to have stopped by like my sophomore year.
Why? Because softball?
Well, I just didn't, and like I liked it more just to do it. And like you really have to like do it and compete, you know what I mean? And I was just kind of like always like liked skating, was obsessed with it. What was the one movie that we watched when we were younger? Oh my God, it's like an 80's movie. Oh my God.
Mighty Ducks?
No, Cutting Edge. Have you ever seen that?
No.
That's where like the guy's like a decrepit, like he's like an injured hockey player or something. Like something happens where he ends up getting matched with like this, like the girl, she loses her like partner in figure skating. Like the guy gets hurt or something, and so like she needs a new partner, and this guy can skate because he's a hockey player, but he doesn't know how to. Very much like Cute. It reminds me of the Channing Tatum dance movie. It's like that, like ballerina needs a partner. He's like a hood dancer, so it's like that, but it's a hockey player and like a.
What is the name of that movie? God, with Julia Stiles, right?
Isn't that Step It Up? No. Julia Stiles is different. Julia Stiles is.
Where she's like, a Juilliard dancer, but then she goes to the hood, and they're like,
yeah,
you gotta feel the music.
Yeah, Step It Up, I think, is...
The 90s.
I know,
I hope you guys are loving this reminiscing, because I am
feeling...
I'm buzzing right now.
Step Up is the one with Channing Tatum and his now ex-wife.
Oh,
Save the Last Dance is the one with Julia Stiles. Yes. I was actually, ironically, I was grounded when this came out to the movie theater, and all my friends went without me.
Bitches. And they were like, it was so good, he took his shirt off. And you're like, whatever. Her first major film, obviously, Harriett the Spy, 1996. So she's 10 at the time, almost 11. She says Rosie O'Donnell was like her biggest like advocate on set, and kind of like says something along the lines of like, saved me from all the creepiness, which I'm just like, here we go with the Nickelodeon and the like grooming from all directions. So I'm glad that Rosie O'Donnell was there. Thank you, Rosie, because you know that she was like, hands off, in her accent. She la 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 la. I don't know what order I want to go in. Okay, so I have all her roles here, which she did a lot of shit. Okay, so she was Nona Mecklenburg in The Adventures of Pete and Pete. Side note, Pete and Pete have their own podcast to this day, and they look like Pete and Pete. So maybe we can pop a picture up on like in this here.
Pop a picture. We're popping it.
But
right
it's so, what's the word? Not humbling. It's so, not refreshing. What is the word? It's
is it
wholesome. Wholesome. It's wholesome. Because they look the same. It's so cute.
Yeah.
That was 94. 96, Harriet the Spy. Then she also did a movie called Christmas in My Hometown. Flop. 97, she does Buffy. She was in Richie Rich's Christmas Wish the next year in 98. 99, she did Penny Brown in Inspector Gadget, which I totally forgot about. She crushed that role. 2000, she did A Father's Choice, which is like a drama, which I don't know. And then this was in the corner of my mind. I totally forgot. 2001, she hosts and narrates Truth or Scare as herself. She got nominated for an Emmy for that. Oh, it's
really?
so dope. Yeah. Yeah. She was on 6 Feet Under in 2001, Bringing Down the House in 2003, and then infamously, her like all the dudes drooling role. She plays Jenny in Eurotrip in 2004. And she says something, I have like some quotes at the end, and she was like, you know, everybody wanted to like talk all this crap about me and like say that I like looked so young in all my roles, but you all jerked off to it, so I guess I win, or something like that. And I was like, oh, like that's the best thing about Michelle is like in her interviews, she's so animated. She's like off the cuff. She says like wild things. She like is always on the gray line of like how she's talking, where you're like, oh my God, did she just say that? But it's little cute Michelle Trachtenberg. So you're just like, it's fine. She did Mysterious Skin in 2004. Ice Princess, where she plays Casey Carlisle in 2005. She does a movie called Black Christmas and plays Melissa in 2006. And then 2007, she kind of makes her comeback into like popular series by playing Georgina Sparks in Gossip Girl, which she says about this role, every girl has a bitch deep down inside of her. And she was like, I loved playing this role. It's not something I always have, but when the paparazzi are like following me around on bikes, which was like a new thing at that time, she was like, then it comes out, which I just thought was so funny. She did The Circuit in 2008, Maggie in 17 again, 2009. 2010, she does Cop Out. 2011, Take Me Home Tonight. 2013.
Oh, I love that movie. I was thinking she was in that.
Take me home tonight. I don't know anything about it. Tell me all about it. Was it amazing?
No, it's a really good. You should watch it. It's a good movie. It's like you know, it's set in the 80s. I want it maybe early 90s. I'm pretty sure it's like late 80s that it's set in. But it's funny because the character, she has like a very small part in it, but she plays like, again, just like that edgy, like quirky. She's basically like the edgy, quirky, like loner girl that like has the hots for the guy who's like. So there's like these two friends, and like the one guy basically like right after high school he like became a car salesman, and then the other guy who is like I think it's Topher.
Way to follow your dreams.
Toby Maguire. No, Toby. Is it Toby Maguire? I believe it's Toby.
Ooh, cute.
Yes.
I love a nerd. I just love a nerd.
No, it's not Toby Maguire. Who's the other? It's Topher. It is. It's Topher from on that 70s show. Topher Grace. Yeah. So Topher Grace is the main character.
Okay.
And he basically is like super smart, goes to like MIT or something like that, and then it's like, so it's basically like after that, so like everyone comes home from school, like everyone's got like their like big time jobs, and he's just like, I don't know what I want to do with my life, so I'm gonna work in a video store. And then it's basically like the story of like them just having like this wild night, and like I think like whatever, like what happens after like college. It's a really good movie. But she plays like the quirky, sexy like girl, and she just like has the hots for the guy who has been toiling away as the used car salesman and is just like, fuck it. And like they end up stealing a car, they do cocaine. It's it's quite the movie. I highly recommend watching Take Me Home Tonight if you have not.
I will. I'm gonna watch it right now. 2013.
Sorry guys, we'll be back.
2013, she does Killing Kennedy. Also in 2013, Sexy Evil Genius. 2014, The Scribbler. 2015, she plays Megan Phillips in The Christmas Gift. And then she also makes guest appearances in Law & Order Criminal Intent, House, NCIS LA, and Criminal Minds. Also Weeds, Space Cases, and Guys Like Us. So talk about a friggin' packed career. There's...
Packed.
Bro. This girl...
Also, wait, did they remake Gossip Girl? Or something? Because I'm on the Wikipedia, and they're showing 2022
to 2023.
Gossip
Yeah,
Girl.
Gossip Girl... Was it from 2007? I have her in 2007.
Yeah. Yeah, they got 2000. They have, like, on her thing, they have, like, the original, like, Gossip Girl, and they're showing, like, 20
reboot.
episodes. She was
They did a reboot. 2022 to 23.
I was going to say,
and they bring her back.
I did not realize they did a reboot.
And they're showing... Yeah, me either. Isn't that... What's her name? Blake Lively? Wasn't she in that?
Yeah, she's like Serena Vanderpump. She's one of the main. She is the main.
She is the girl that gossips.
Her and Leighton Meester are the.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, and also like they show some like footage of her filming, and she's like all decked out in like her business, Georgina Sparks gear, and then she's wearing like New Balance sneakers, and there was some talk of her having like bone issues, and then like she talks about on her social media, like she broke her ankle, and she's like, suck it 2016 or whatever with my broken ankle, but like I feel like there was more to it than that. And initially I had like a working theory that we talked about, where I was like, I think it was drinking that caused her like to have a liver transplant. I'm gonna go ahead and pull back. I don't think that was it. I think that this is just an incredibly humble and private girl who like was dealing with a bunch of health issues, because like there's like canes and stuff. It's just giving more than like I broke my ankle. I don't know. It just feels like it was longer than that. It was more than that.
Yeah, I also feel like when I was like trying to do a little bit of research, I found like some pictures of her that were obviously not back in the day, more recent. I don't know how recent they were, but I could just tell. And like she does, like her eyes are kind of yellow, like her skin is kind of yellow. It's just giving more than just like
there's something.
It's definitely giving more like like
autoimmune
chronic disease. Than like life.
And like the whole time, literally, with the exception of 2002, she releases a movie every year from 2001 and skip 2012 to 2015. That's like 13 consecutive years of movie. It's crazy. Like, it's crazy. Trivia. She collected Barbies and had over 50, of the cute, nice ones. In 2007, she was voted number 86 on the Maxim Hot 100 list. And then in 2011, jumped to number 27 on the Maxim Hot 100 list. Do they even still do that?
I think so.
Dream job, other than acting, she said she'd be a fashion editor at Vogue. And that entire line would be goth. And I would buy it.
I mean, meet the 2024. I'm so not to interrupt you, but to piggyback, it says meet the 2024 Maxim Hot 100. So
they're still doing it.
They They're still doing
What
it.
if they put her on it this year? Do it, Maxim. And my favorite thing, she stole a wooden stake from Buffy, from the Buffy set when the show ended. And she was asked once if she had any regrets, and she said, I would have stolen more stuff from Buffy. Love her. Favorite quotes. She says, laughter is the best thing. It's not about seeking revenge on someone. It's not letting them get away with it and not letting them get their high off seeing you miserable. Laugh with them. And then why she prefers older men, which we'll get to, Jay Cohen, in just a second. She says, I'm not necessarily being ageist, but someone who's older has lived through more. Someone could surprise me, but I feel like there's a phase guys go through in their early 20s when they're supposed to hook up with a lot of chicks and break a lot of hearts. That's great. I'd just like to catch you after that. I'm not looking to settle down and make babies. I'm just not looking for the guy who's texting 7 different girls like, let's screw here, let's hook up later. I've always had at least a 6 or 7 year age difference with boyfriends, and I guess I still have resentment towards all the boys in high school. Which, hashtag relatable.
Right. I mean, it sounds like a pretty practical standard.
And then she was bullied as a teen. She said literally there was like a group of girls that would hang out by the lockers and just like slap books out of her hands and like just be fucking mean as shit. And so she says, so yeah, I guess I harbor resentment towards kids from high school, but then I did a movie called Eurotrip and you totally jacked off to it. So I'm good. Tell him. Not a social media person, although this changed because she was on Instagram leading up to her death. But at the time of this interview, she said, no Facebook, no, what's that twit thing? I can't. There are tons of fake Facebook pages and it drives me apeshit. Some of these fake Twitters and Facebooks, they're like, I'm so special. Look at my new movie. Don't you think I'm so pretty? I never, ever talk like that. I love her. Just
Playing from desktop Ilondo.
not right now.
Alexa.
Dating history. So in 2004 to 2006, she dates Shawn Ashmore, who is like the curly, brownish reddish hair guy who plays Iceman in X-Men. He was also in Smallville and Animorphs.
Okay.
Cute. And then in 2006, we go through like a little bit of an athletic phase. She dates Scott Sanford, who is a former competitive water polo player who's on the U.S. national team.
Okay.
And then also in 2006, she dates Pete Wentz. They met on Buffy because Fall Out Boy did a performance there. But shortly after, he meets Ashley Simpson, and then they get married in 2008, which, downgrade. 2007, she dates Brandon Proust, who's a professional Canadian hockey player. He played for the New York Rangers, Calgary Flames. And then from 2007 to 2008, she dates Jason Lewis, who plays Smith Jared on Sex and the City. 2008, she dates Joshua Redkin, who's a folk pop songwriter. And I guess he has like major songs called Winter and I'd Rather Be With You, which were both on Scrubs and Grey's Anatomy. So like, you know, that moody, he definitely like sang to her,
yeah.
crooning.
And he's getting those royalties, so.
2009, she dates Jason Segel, who was in Freaks and Geeks, How I Met Your Mother, and my favorite, Forgetting Sarah Marshall. He's the guy who's trying to forget Sarah Marshall. That's so good.
I could see that as cute. I could see them
So
together.
cute.
That's
Yeah.
funny. I
Yeah.
like
2012, she dates Josh Groban, self-titled album. He acts also in Ally McBeal, The Office, and The Good Cop.
that. Wait, Josh Groban, like
Yeah.
the singer? Like the Office
Yes.
singer? Wow. Okay.
Yep. 2014,
She's all over the place.
2014, Kid Cudi.
Josh Groban to Kid
Boom!
Cudi?
Well, to be fair, there was a 2-year break,
Okay. all right.
although they dated for a little bit. So, I mean, pretty much she was just like, I'm into music, but I want to change it up. And then, so Jay Cohen, who she was with at the time of her death, they met in 2008. He is a co-founder of True Talent Management, who he started with Dustin Hoffman. And they produced Swimming with Sharks, Two for the Money, Bride Wars. She signed to his then Gersh agency in 2014. So they were first like romantically linked in 2020, but she'd known him forever. And there's like a 24 or something year age difference. He's in his 60s right now. He has adult children in their 20s who are like, you know, she's a little bit older than them, or was. And so a little on him. They both seem very like, you know, to themselves. There's a image of TMZ like going to the house, like to her apartment, which is called Hell's Kitchen. I don't get it.
Wait, that's the area of New York?
Oh, so you're aware of this?
Yeah, it's an area of New York. Yeah.
Like it's a city called Hell's Kitchen?
It's like what they refer to it, like Hell's Kitchen. Like
what the hell's wrong with it?
Technically, like I don't know if it's a real.
Because it's a Manhattan apartment, and I'm like Hell's Kitchen. I thought it was the name of the building.
No, that's like the area. I don't know if it's a real, like I don't know if it's an actual borough. But it's like, you know, like how any place has like DeVoe. Okay. Like DeVoe isn't a real place. Like it's not a real place. But it's an area that everyone who lives around us knows what it is. You know what I mean? So
so kind of like a nickname.
Yes, it's just like a nickname for
I'm gonna wait for you to tell me more about this because I thought I was reading it wrong, so I was like, let me look somewhere else. Also, I'm gonna look somewhere else again. And it just kept saying like she lives in Hell's Kitchen in Manhattan, and I was like, what are you saying? What and why are you saying this to me?
Yeah, so Hell's Kitchen, also known as Clinton or Midtown West on real estate listings, is a neighborhood on the west side of Midtown Manhattan in New York City. It's considered to be bordered by 34th Street to the south, 59th Street to the north, 8th Avenue to the east, and the Hudson River to the west. There's actually a picture I can pop up. But it says Hell's Kitchen has long been a bastion of poor and working class Irish Americans, probably why I know about it. Its gritty reputation has long held real estate prices below those of most other areas of Manhattan. But in 1969, the City Planning Commission, Plan for New York City, reported the development pressures. So basically they gentrified it starting in the 80s. But it was
so now it's like wealthy
long
and
established.
stuff.
Well, they like tried to they gentrified, you know,
Zhuzhed it up.
In addition, so it says it's a long established Irish American and Hispanic American populations reside in Hell's Kitchen. And I feel like the first time I think because I saw it in a movie, I feel like that's the first time I ever heard of it. And then obviously like I have a couple friends that live in New York City, so
I mean,
heard about it once
and
or twice.
like I get it, like it's not like all these movies we've just gone through are like we're all heavy hitters, but I would imagine a celebrity at the status of Michelle Trachtenberg with as much of a career living in a massive house in Beverly Hills, but like a lot of her friends have said that like she just didn't really like she was over Hollywood and she just really didn't want to be a part of that scene. And that just makes me like she's basically like an indie Hollywood celebrity. You know, she was just like, I want to act, this is what I like to do, but like I don't want to get, you know, my face shot up and a nose job and a boob job and a publicist and be seen. Like all of her relationships, I had to do digging because they were all private. Like, and everyone she dated is also private. Like if you go through it, it's not like she, you know, she didn't date like Jay-Z, 50 Cent, Conan O'Brien. I mean, like, there were tons of people she could have dated who I'm sure would have had her many times over. And she just, like, has always been, like, yeah, I'm not, it's just not her vibe.
Yeah.
Which I just find so respectable.
Well, and too, like, she started working when she was 3, and she cranked out a movie every year, basically, since then. So I could definitely see why.
Yeah.
By the time she was 30-something, she was
I'm
like,
done.
yeah,
So I hate this part because at some point we have.
I mean, and like Hell's Kitchen, like you're on the island, so like you're still, you know, like I feel like that would make sense because like I'm looking at it on the map and it's right near like Chelsea, it's right near like the Flatiron district. Like it's
like close enough where there's not paps circling the building.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not the Lower East Side. Like
yeah. So okay. I hate this part because she dies. Spoiler alert. So less than a week before she died, she was out with her friends and at some restaurant, and an employee said that she looked so frail and she could barely walk down the stairs. Her last acting job was actually doing voice work in the 2024 documentary called Spiral. She also voiced over a TV modified production of Harriet the Spy in 2023. So she was still working, but like moved into voice work, probably because her health was like waning, and she's like, I still want to do it, because she describes it as like literally one of her loves. Ugh. So February 26th, 2025, her mother Lana saw her the night before on February 25th at 10 p.m. At 8 a.m., Lana finds our beloved Michelle Trachtenberg unresponsive. Paramedics arrive, pronounce her dead at the scene. The response was to a woman in cardiac arrest, but there is some dispute over whether that is confirmed. However, that is also a common reaction to a not so good liver transplant outcome. After her death, so this is one of her good friends and also photographer who photographed her throughout the years. So they've known each other for over a decade. Her name's Amanda de Cadenet. So she shared on Instagram that Michelle knew that death was a high possibility, which
well, this thing that I just looked up, it says that 75% of people who undergo liver transplants live for at least 5 years. So that's not.
Yeah.
I mean, 25% of the people will pass away within 5 years. And then this other thing that I found is showing that, they're giving people about, I don't know, 10,000 days, it looks like.
How long,
survival time?
Does that mean...
What's 10,000 days?
300 days, so times 3 is 900. So 1,000, what would that be? 30 years?
Sounds about right, I guess. Let's see. 10,
is that right?
Divided by...
I hope I'm not about to look like a moron.
Yeah, you got it. You just mathematized
Woo!
it.
Hashtag mortgages.
Yeah. So basically this is saying that no one lives past 30 years of receiving.
That's a long... by the time you kick your liver, you're at least 30.
Well, yeah, when are you... Yeah.
But still, yeah, 60, they're okay, I don't know if you can get 2.
Yeah.
You probably got to throw a ton of money at that.
This is showing first, second, and third transplant. So God bless these people that have had to have a third transplant, enough for them to have this data collected.
I know someone who knows someone whose parent, try to keep it vague, had a liver transplant due to drinking, which again, I do not think was Michelle. But, so there's a list or whatever, and if it's because of drinking, you're lower on the list than someone who has unavoidable issue, unless you pay $1 million and they'll move you up. This person paid the $1 million and drank through it, which I can't, because that could have gotten to Michelle. So, she knew death was a possibility. She talked to Michelle on FaceTime months before her passing, and she said, she was in a hospital bed. It sounds like she was in the hospital maybe longer than the expectation of recouping, but they also say that when you're released, it's with the expectation that you've accepted the liver, your tests are coming back normal, you don't have any, warning signs or whatever. But I also think there's some degree of okay, you're at 80%, you've been here 2 months, there's quality of life as well, and there is that case by case situation. But she says, even though she didn't look herself, her sweetness and humor were still alive, which ugh. Her family has declined an autopsy. There would have been one automatically performed if there was any suspicion of criminality. So, like, we know there was no foul play. Otherwise, it is up to the family you can deny that. And they did, which...
And we're assuming that is because she's
yes.
Jewish, correct?
Yeah, it's because, it could be because she's Jewish. There's like a religious expectation to not desecrate the remains of the deceased. So they don't want anyone touching her. So since her death, it has now emerged that she was working on a screenplay. And this comes from People magazine. The proposed screenplay is titled Toy Monster, and it's inspired by the book written by Jerry Oppenheimer. A man named Casey Tebow, who's a film producer and director, described Trachtenberg as an incredible writer, and he and Trachtenberg's partner, Jay Cohen, are currently working to get the screenplay turned into a movie, which I think they'll probably do.
Yeah.
So can't wait to see it. And then a little bit about liver transplant. So you touched on this, but usually there's a positive 5-year survival rate of about 75%. Complications after are most commonly infections or blood clots. So like cardiac arrest, very fitting there.
Yeah, deep vein thrombosis would be the blood clot.
Yeah. Okay, doctor. By the time someone leaves the hospital, there are usually all indications the liver's working. I have heart attaches and breakages or clots in the arteries. I'm not sure what I'm saying there.
Maybe heart attack.
Oh yeah, thank you. That is what I meant. Heart attacks and breakages or clots in the arteries or veins where the liver was attached can lead to liver failure. Sometimes also, they're not always prescribed, but there are medications prescribed after surgery, and they can generate high levels of potassium in the blood, which causes irregular heartbeats. So take it easy on the bananas. Reasons.
Damn, I was just gonna eat an entire
Don't
bushel
you dare.
of bananas too.
Reasons for her transplant are not known. However, nationwide alcohol-related liver disease is the most common reason for a transplant. 41% of recipients had alcohol-related liver disease as a primary diagnosis. Second largest share is 20% due to fatty liver disease linked to obesity, not our girl at $1.30, and diabetes.
Which I believe that is like on the rise. The fatty liver disease is on the rise specifically in children. Just a fun statistic in America, and I learned that from one of the seed oil documentaries because they were talking about obesity in general and how like basically up until like 1990 we like never saw a child with fatty liver disease because it is usually linked to type 2 like chronic diabetes and obesity, and like now kids are having it, young people in general, but especially kids are just having it at an alarming rate.
The rate in this article that I was reading, and I have the link, it's from NBC News, and they're asking a physician, and he says liver transplants and fatty liver disease in 20s and 30s is on the rise, and since the 90s, assumably because of diet and sedentary lifestyle. Less common reasons are cancer, viral hepatitis, and autoimmune conditions, which I think is probably our girl.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is the incredible career, fun-loving personality, and impressive dating history of our Russian-speaking Michelle Trachtenberg.
Just a staple of millennials, of millennial
Absolute
culture.
staple.
She was like the flagship. I was truly blown away when I first saw the announcement, just how many people were commenting on like, she was my first celebrity crush, P&P, and like it's just like so many people just were like, this woman was so insanely important to me.
She was.
Like it was amazing.
I was up my parents' ass for a composition notebook after I saw Harriett the Spy. I was like, I have to have one. It's going to be my journal, and it's private because I'm going to write private on the front. My brother went through it. He did not respect that.
He was not.
Little brothers. Freaking ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, iconic. Yeah. She's done it all. So yeah.
Well, it sounds like too that she got to enjoy a quiet life, you know, eventually, at least for a few years, you know.
I think she probably would have married Jay Cohen. Although she did say that little bit about like, I didn't want kids or whatever, so like maybe she was just like, I'm just gonna date.
Yeah, but then that might be why she liked older guys and someone who already had his kids. Right. So it's like,
right,
you know,
yeah,
they don't necessarily exist.
Yeah. Yep. We love her. Oh, also, real quick, she was the winner for Young Artist Awards Best Performance in a Feature Film for Harriet the Spy. 98 winner, Young Artist Award Best Performance in a Comedy Series for Migo.
Okay, unfamiliar.
Was nominated in 2000 for Young Artist Award Best Performance in a Feature Film, Inspector Gadget. In 2001, 2, and 3, got the Saturn Award nominee for Best Supporting Actress for Buffy the Vampire Slayer. 2001, Teen Choice Award nominee for Choice Sidekick for Buffy. 2001 winner, Best Performance for TV Drama. 2022 nominee, Artist Award Best Performance in TV Comedy Series for Truth or Scare. You have got to look that up.
I'm gonna ask.
2002 nominee Best Performance in TV Comedy Series. She was in Mad TV, which like of course she was. Winner of a WIN Award for Best Actress in Killing Kennedy. 2012 Teen Choice Award nominee for Gossip Girl. Winner of the Special July Prize Breakthrough Performer for Beautiful, Ohio. And 2023 voice role in Apple TV's animated series adaptation of Harriet the Spy. So it's like 15 wins and like, I don't know, 20 or 30 something nominations.
She also, it looks like, appeared in 3 music videos.
Stop. Tell me 50 Cent.
So in 2004.
Tell me 50, because there's a rumor.
Not 50 Cent, unfortunately. Okay. But it says 2004 Echo, and the artist is Trapped. No idea.
What?
Trapped. T-R.
That is the best song. Oh my god.
Completely unfamiliar. Maybe I know the song. Maybe I just don't know.
That was like my emo era when I wanted to die all the time. Yes.
Then Tired of Being Sorry by Ringside.
No.
Again, no idea. And then lastly, in 2007, Fall Out Boy, This Ain't a Scene, It's an Arms Race.
Oh, wait, when did she date Pete? Hang on.
Oh, hopefully it was 2007.
It's 2008 when he was with Ashley Simpson. That would be scandalous. Where is it? Hang on. Pete. 2006.
Okay, so dated him, was in the...
No.
You know, they could have filmed it in 2006.
Okay. Says they dated very shortly because he soon after met Ashley Simpson, who he married in 2008. So that's...
Well, but that's what I mean. But they could have filmed it in like 2006 when they were dating, and like it didn't come out till 2007. Like that happens.
Did they do that? Did
like,
they do that with music videos?
Yeah, there's usually. I mean, there's at least like 3 months between when it's filmed and when it's. You know, there's enough time for it to be 2 different.
We're gonna give her the benefit of the doubt. Blah, 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 blah.
We're gonna stick with that. We're gonna stick with that. So, and then also, it says that she was in 3 web series. It says she was in 6 episodes of something called Guidance, playing Anna.
Guidance.
In 2018, Human Kind of. She was in 21 episodes as the voice actor. And then 2021, Meet, Marry, Murder. She's the host of a web series called Meet, Marry, Murder, and she's on 13 episodes.
Meet, Marry, Murder.
That sounds interesting. Is this like, what is it like? Isn't it like?
Ooh, she's got host vibes. She's here in like she's like a burgundy blazer. Direct to camera, dramatic side lighting.
Featuring true crime stories when a married person kills a partner.
Oh, Michelle,
Ooh.
what can
we might have to
do?
We might have to watch this, and yeah. What can we watch? Where can we see this?
I just love
Just on
her.
Peacock. Oh, you can watch it on Peacock or Tubi.
Yep, Tubi. I see here.
You can get this free. Yeah.
Oh, look up Truth or Scare real quick and see if it jogs a memory.
Okay.
Her with the bookshelves. Oh, she was so good. It was such a good show.
Neat. No. What is it? Truth or Scare?
Truth or Scare, yeah. It's like ghost stories, myths. It's kind of giving like Are You Afraid of the Dark, but in real life, like the real ones.
Yeah.
And like she did it. It was like fun. It was on Discovery Kids.
Even the little artwork for it, not looking.
Oh.
But I also was like a baby. Like I hated scary stuff. Like Are You Afraid of the Dark used to literally, like the beginning used to terrify me.
That scared the shit out of me.
Like just
they were too
like,
aggressive.
The stories, yeah, like the stories were fine.
The
but, like,
flame,
the
the flashlight. Get out of here! Stop.
And also, like FYI, like I was afraid of the dark. So like,
Are you afraid? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Terrified.
Very much so. Still, I think I've worked through it now as an adult. However, I still don't prefer to be in a pitch black dark room all by myself. I don't really know who does.
Not me. Not me, not now.
Needless to say, I think we should be a little easier on the kids that don't want to be in pitch black dark rooms by themselves.
Would be great. I remember there was an episode of, I think it was Are You Afraid of the Dark? It was. And I was like, this is such adult horror. It was an episode where this woman, she buries this guy up to his neck in the sand at the beach, and the tide is coming in. And he's like holding his breath, and then the waves go out. And then it like, I'll never forget that scene because I'm like, this is for kids. We were watching it at a sleepover, and all my friends were like watching it, and I'm back there like, and to this day, it's freaking rocking me. Damn it.
See, I was the one about the dollhouse forever stays rented in my head.
Anything with dolls.
No, thank you.
Michelle, I hope we've done you justice. The Grammys aren't even that good. Was it the Oscars? I can't even remember the award show.
So it was so unimpressive and
unimpressive. Unlike you. We love you.
You'll be greatly missed.
Greatly.
Thank you for your talent and
your eyes.
Just let's have a moment of silence. Let's have a moment of silence for Michelle. Okay, everybody together. Beautiful.
Can you feel her? Can you smell the tomato sandwich?
I can smell it.
Do you smell the stolen steak from the Buffy set? Can you feel it? Oh, Michelle. Wait, why did they ban Harriet the Spy?
Well, Harriet got canceled? No.
Louis Fitzhugh's well-loved tale of a girl who spies on her friends and has to face the consequences was banned because it was said to set a bad example for children, supposedly encouraging them to lie, spy, and swear. Woo! Oh, also, the main character in the book has traits associated with a mental breakdown and is on the autism spectrum. Which I could definitely see, because don't you remember where she's like freaking out at one point? She's like really emotional.
Yeah.
She's like freaking out and Rosie's trying to like calm her down. Oh.
Yeah,
we love her.
I don't even know if autism was autism yet when that was.
No, it wasn't. It was actually childhood schizophrenia for a while.
There you go.
Which, not at all the same. So yeah, thank you for joining us. Sorry I can't bring Michelle back to life. If I could, I would do it right now.
I mean, I also want to thank you for the stringent research that you did. Beautiful presentation. I know we all appreciate it.
Oh. I'm here for you. Please email us.
Please email us your questions, your concerns, your concepts.
Do you like my braids? You know,
Do you like the
just
braids?
whatever.
We got something big in store for Jen's hair, so we're not gonna, you'll have to come back for the big reveal. Have to come back.
Also, do you think that this shirt is giving baseball or pajamas? Let us know.
Let us know.
Bestfriendfiles@gmail.com.
There you go.